Hey friends, I hope everyone is good. So welcome to the Infologs Blazor video series tutorial and I hope you have watched the earlier two videos where we have a detailed discussion about the Blazor server and Blazor WebAssembly application. So in today's video we are going to explore the default server Blazor template which is provided in the .NET SDK Core 3.1, and that is available in Visual Studio 2019. So I have already installed the required components. So you just need 2019 Visual Studio and the SDK 3.1. So let me show you one more thing. So here you can see that as soon as I hit the .NET command in my command prompt, it will shows me the default options, and here I have an option list that SDKs that will show what are the SDKs installed on this machine. So I'll hit the .NET list / SDKs. So here you'll see that .NET 3.1.100 that is installed on this machine. If you have installed multiple versions, so here you'll see that 2.2, 2. Then 3.0, then 3.1, the list of this. So you just need a 3.1. So here we'll go for, okay, before the starting I'll also like to show the article that we are going to follow. This is the getting started with the Blazor. There are multiple steps, so you can also follow all this stuff. So this is the default application which look like, and we are talking about on this application. And here you'll see the little bit descriptions and what are the components that have included in the default project. Yeah, they use components, what kind of parameters out there, how we can use it, and then route to the components. So what are the routing methods, then the famous the amazing technology called dependency injections, how we can use that in Blazor 2, and then the injecting of services and all that stuff, and then the Blazor WebAssembly experience, how we can request to the web APIs from the browser application. All that stuff is available in this article, and as soon as we publish this video, that is also available at the bottom of this article. So you guys can get all the information on a single page, so you don't need to go anywhere. Okay, and if you have any feedback related to these things, you can also send that on support@infologs.in, or you can also comment on any video or any of social media platform we have everywhere. You can go for Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or the LinkedIn or anything. Just go for and search for Infologs. We will be there. Okay, so let's flip to the Visual Studio. So we have to create a new project. So here I'm gonna create a Blazor app, and if you go and hit the next, you'll see the, let me assign the name, introduction of Blazor, and the solution name will be Blazor demo. So from onwards, whatever the applications will create in the for the Blazor demonstration, so we'll create we'll use the same solution. So here you can see only one Blazor server app. That is because the Microsoft has released this application, and we can use this template for the production server as well. So let's talk about the WebAssembly. So WebAssembly doesn't have the stable version yet. That is still under the preview version. On the May 2020 they'll release the stable version of Blazor WebAssembly. So currently just go ahead and I don't want to configure the HTTPS, and just select your template and hit the create button. So within a few moments it will create a Blazor web server application for you. It's taking a little bit more time than the usual. Yep, it's completed. So here we can see that okay, the one more update is available. As you can see, within every 15 or 20 days you'll see the update in Visual Studio, and that's great thing because the speed they are getting into, that is amazing. So you will get updates on every platform. Okay, coming to the dependencies, here you'll see still we have a standard ASP.NET Core support and the SDK. Again we have a same thing, launching settings. If we go for, we have a specific port, and then profiles that we have seen in the ASP.NET Core project, so nothing is different. Again we have a www root folder for the static file serving, that is also similar. Then we have a few services that is available under the data. This is I think a model. Perfect. This is the model where we are returning the data, and this is our service. So if you go for the standard application, this service was available in the controller, right, if you remember that. So again this is not a major change. Then we have a few pages. These are the okay, so here if you notice we have a .razor pages. So let me clear one thing. So if whenever we talk about any razor thing, so here it is considered as a component. Okay, whatever you will see, these all are the components, and sorry, these are the pages, and these are the components shared, that can be shared across the pages and all that stuff, right? So whenever we go for any specific thing, then we should think in that way. Okay, everything is considered as a component. Let's say I'm combining 2 to 3 buttons and creating a box, that is considered as a component in the Blazor applications, and that component has its own life cycle. So whenever we comes to that article of life cycle, we'll talk about in details about how this life cycle works for the component of Blazor, right? So currently you just need to take care about, we have a few pages called counter, error, fetch data, and index. So what are the uses of that, we'll talk about later. And then we have a shared thing, just like some kind of navigation menus, or we have a master page kind of things, that is our main layout. Okay, and then we have imports, default namespaces that are going to use in all the components. Then this is our main configuration, just like a main method kind of things, where we are saying this is the route data, and this is going to handle by a main layout. And if the URL is not valid, then we are going to show this message, not found type of, sorry, nothing on this address available. And if you talk about the app setting, this is similar kind of thing in the ASP.NET Core. Again, this program.cs, no change here also, and the startup.cs comes. So here you'll see the particular things just are added as a services to the ASP.NET Core default project. So here we are saying we are using the razor pages and the add server side Blazor service, and we have also used for the weather services. And later we have just a few endpoints mapped to our Blazor hub, and for the fallback pages too. If the Blazor hub doesn't connect properly, then it will be fallback to the underscore host. Just like I think this is for the SignalR connections, Here you can see the host.cshtml where we are saying this applications may no longer to respond till reload. That means the SignalR connection is lost. So you need to make it a refresh on the page. So we have seen all the stuff. Now let's run this application and let's see what kind of UI we are getting in. So as this is the first time launch, so it will take a few seconds. So still waiting. Yep. So the browser is launched and here we go. This is the nice and very lucrative UI for the default application. So I'll go and just open up the network tab and let's see what are the default. Okay, see, there is no more resources. There is only one Blazor question mark IDs, and we don't see anything extra. This is because of the WebSocket. This is connected on the particular URL. If you go ahead, use the WebSocket, and this is connected now with the server, right? Okay, so now let's navigate to the counter. So just notice this section. I'm clicking on the counter. So here we'll see this navigation point, but under the network we don't see any reloading kind of things. It is navigating or redirecting on the client side. Okay, so now here I'm gonna click on click me. So here again there is nothing happening in the background, so everything is on in the browser. So as soon as I click, the label is getting updated. So obviously this is Blazor, so we hope that for the click event we have written the C# code, and as a standard way, if we have written C# code for the web application, then that is going to run on the server side, right? But if you follow the traditional way, then the whole page should be post back. Okay, and let's assume that they are a little more intelligent and they are just posting this counter on the server. But if there is any kind of post back or any kind of request on the server, there should be tracked in the network sections, but here is nothing because of this active connection of SignalR. So whenever we hit the click button, so it's just saying, hey, there are something update, so you just need to re-render this particular component, and everything is as simple as that. Let me go for all. Here you will see a little bit of different JS bootstrap, that static files. Okay, and again I'm gonna click on click me. Nothing is reloading. That's the power of Blazor, right? Okay, now let me navigate to the next option, that is fetch data, and I think this is coming from the server, because if you see in the startup.cs we have registered the weather services, but again I don't see any activity in the network tab. Even the network AJAX request is not there. That is amazing. So you are not getting any kind of information and all that stuff. But if you wanted to, you can see here. Okay, this is the binary communication of SignalR data. If you go and click here, this is coming from the server, and this is going from the client to the server. So here is all the data is in the binary mode, so you are not going to understand it. Let me go again to the okay, so one more thing, I'll just clear it, all this stuff, and now I'm gonna click on counter thing and click counter. So here, oops, I need to reload this thing. Okay, so here is my connection and this is the data, and if we go downside, I'm clicking here, so something is going on the server and then something is coming from the server. This is all done through the single connections. The message is going in the binary format, binary compact format, and whatever the response is coming, that is also in the binary. So that's amazing, and everything is handled by this JS as well, right? So let's see the code, what kind of code is written for this click event. So we got a little bit more idea about it. So I'll close all the tab, and if you see, we have go for the counter kind of thing. So yeah, we have a component counter. So if you see, the page is counter and this is our access point. So we have a counter label header, then we have a counter message and the count. As you guys are familiar with the result syntax, then whatever we write the C# code, in starting point we have to place at attribute, at symbol, and then you can use the C# kind of code. Okay, so here you will see the current count, that is what is current count? Yeah, current count is a private variable, and then we have a standard input button with the okay, so if you go here under the www root folder, there you'll see the bootstrap kind of things by default, and we are using that CSS classes in our standard HTML code. And then we have at the rate on click attribute, and then we have increment count. Okay, this is our click event. So just below under the code section you'll see the increment, and then whenever you hit the button, so we are incrementing the current count, and the current count is directly mapped over here. So it will automatically tells that the state has been changed of this label, sorry, of this p tag, and we need to re-render that, and all of these things is considered, sorry, taken care of the Blazor framework, so you don't need to do anything of it, right? This is amazing, guys. Oh, that's the important let me put a breakpoint and check whether it's working or not. So as soon as I hit the click me, awesome, so current count we got a 32, and then we have incremented it, and then again continuing, and this is nice, this is amazing, right? This is the basic component, and how these are working, what are the life cycles of this, we will see in our next video. So now coming to the next point, that is fetch data. So here we have a fetch data. So what kind of code we have written? So first of all we need to check for the service. So we'll see the first model. So we have a few properties into the weather forecast model, and then we have a weather service methods where we are returning and weather forecast array as a task, and we are collecting all this information from the read-only array. Okay, and then we are trying to convert it into the array and sending back to the requester. So now who is requesting this? So if you go for the fetch data dot razor, you'll see that this is your navigation point or routing point, and then we have injected weather forecast service, and then instance. Okay, how this working? So if you go for startup.cs, you'll see the singleton weather service forecast that is integrated in the pipeline, and we are just requesting that instance. And here are a few things of HTML. If the forecast variable, so what is forecast variable? So let me go just below. So we have declared an array. Let's say first time we are requesting the model, sorry, not this rigid component. In that time we'll see the forecast is null, and if that is null, in that case we should show the loading option, okay, till the data gets from the server to the client. And then we have else. In the else sections we have few tables, and we are iterating on the elements that is coming from the server, forecast servers. Okay, on here on initialization section we are sending a async request to the server and saying, hey, we wanted the details of weathers, and that is assigning to the forecast as soon as the component get initialized. And then we are saying, hey, if there is anything data available, okay, in the else section we are saying just iterate to these number of elements we got in the forecasts array, and then we are just iterating to the tr table. This is a standard, pretty straightforward thing, and just print all this stuff on the browser, and that's why we are getting this kind of output, right? So this is amazing, guys. So let me put a breakpoint over here and just reload the data. We got this, and then what if let me put one more breakpoint on the service, sorry, in the service. So I'll put a breakpoint here and then just continue. So we got the request, and then from this we are just returning an array. We got this, and then under this loop, okay, so here you can see that for each is executing properly, and then at last we should see the output. That is amazing. Okay, without interfering any kind of other modules, we don't see any traffic, and just we'll see this WebSocket kind of thing, which is responsible to communicate between sorry, the client to server data transformation, right? Okay, and then we have an error.resolve where we are saying an error occurred and all that kind of stuff. So let me go for any specific thing. Sorry, there is nothing. Okay, in the startup we have talked about this app.resolve. So if the URL is not matching with any route data, then we are showing this. You can modify it according to you and make it like that. So now let's talk about this error kind of thing. So what I'll do here from the server, I'll throw an error if a double equals to 5, then throw new divide by 0 exception. Let's see how it reacts. Okay, just run it again. There we are, and then go for the fetch data. We hit the breakpoint, so I don't need this. I'll just press F5. Okay, and under handled exception occurred. See the browsers, browser dev tool, and reload. Okay, divide by 0 exception, attempted to divide by 0, and here it will show you the exact where is the error, right? And that was in the service section. So let stop this and put that in the code section. Okay, and now let's try to run it again. Okay, I think it is not going to redirect to that error page, because we have to manually redirect it. Let's check it. Fetch data, it is again showing me the error, and if you wanted to go for error sections, this is the standard error kind of thing. Okay, and one more thing that let me check the startup.cs, that is development, show the app kind of thing, fetch data. Okay, this is showing the error in a standard way, pretty standard way. Okay, so here you have to handle it like in the fetch. If there is an error, you can navigate to the error component, and there you can just give the appropriate message to the end user. So now we have talked about counter error, fetch data, index, and then there are a layout view. So this is the layout of our main the whole application. You'll see the about and that common body sections, and then we have a navigation menu. That is one more component that is available, navigation menu, and here you can add your own navigation too. So let me copy all this stuff and paste it, and just say for custom menu, and then where is the href? So currently I'll go for error, as I don't have any other one. Oops, I typed it wrong. Let's check what happened. So developer is injecting. So here custom menu is available, just click on it. So we get to this error page. That's nice. And then we have okay, here you can see the very pretty thing. So button, we have a button where on click on the toggle menu. See, this is toggle menu, hide and show kind of thing. That is because of this on click button, and there are few bootstrap classes are applied. That's why you will not see that toggle button in the full screen view. And then we have dynamic classes which are handled through the C# code. Here you can see the collapsible, collapse, otherwise null. Okay, so you can pretty much understand the collaborations of the CSS kind of things. You can also put the C# code and manipulate the CSS and HTML codes very easily because of this Blazor framework, right? And then we have a few imports, default libraries that needs to run the application. And then we have the standard WebAssembly. This is the starting point of the application. Okay, I think we have talked a lot of things about the default project of Blazor server template. So if you have any questions, just comment on our videos, or you can communicate through social media platform, which is facebook.com/infologs.in, and twitter.com/infologs.in, or you can tweet us at infologs.in as well. Okay, we will ready to help you guys to understand all this stuff. Okay, yeah, thank you for watching. Just let us know your feedbacks, and whatever it is, whether it's good or bad, or if you want any improvements in this series or anything, just talk to us. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.